Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a review of UFC 152, Jon Jones versus Vitor Belfort. So pretty much the fight was on Saturday, of course. A little bit late with the review. Sorry about that, guys. I had some trouble with my account, so I'm still working on that and figuring out what I'm going to do. But anyway, so it turned out pretty good after all. I think the fight turned out pretty well after all. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Originally, I thought that Jones was probably going to steamroll Vitor, just like I thought he probably would have steamrolled Chael Sonnen, but definitely wanted to see a fight at 205 for the championship either way, regardless of if he was going to fight Vitor or Chael or whoever. Was pretty excited to see it, and Vitor did really well. I mean, he did better than I thought he was going to do. I thought it was pretty amazing that he was able to get that armbar on Jones in the first round like that from the bottom. I mean, old school style. Like, I remember back in the day when Fedor from the bottom, a lot of times against wrestlers like Mark Coleman, he did it to twice, other wrestlers as well. He'd pull that armbar from the bottom, and he'd get him to tap. And I was really surprised when he snapped that armbar on Jones. I was just like, yes, you could see Jones's face, and he's all like fighting against it, picking him up and trying to grab at his hand and stuff. And he's like, he's trying to reach down and get his hand. Oh man, I was so excited. I was like, yes, Vitor, come on, you can do it. And he wasn't. It did, like, he was putting his weight on. He was cranking on a little bit, but you didn't see him jerk it at all. But, maybe he should have. Maybe Vitor should have just fucking lifted it, let it up a bit, and just cranked the fucking thing right down and just broke his arm. Because I'm not sure if he actually did break his arm. I saw in the presser that Jones's arm was in a sling. But I'm not sure if it actually is broken or if it's just hyperextended or something wrong with it with that. I mean, later on, he did say that it felt numb after the fight, and he said he was still able to throw punches just from, muscle memory doing it so many times, but he couldn't really feel it. It was just kind of numb, and there's no power in it. So, I mean, that just kind of shows how close the fight really was after all. Vitor, if he would have maybe cranked it a little bit more, cranked it a little harder, twisted a little bit more, he might have been able to break it. And if he broke his arm, that would have been it, man. That would have probably been the fight. I mean, yeah, you can fight a little bit with a broken arm, but I mean, if it's totally broken, like really bad at the elbow, I don't know, like maybe for a little while, maybe a round, but they went all the way to the fourth round. I don't think Jon Jones would have been able to continue all the way there if it was like a big break or anything. That would have been really bad. So. But definitely was exciting to see that also. Vitor was able to land a lot of punches, which was good. He was throwing a lot more knees than I thought he should. And I saw that in the primetime video where he was training at Black Zillions. He was throwing a lot of, like, knees and stuff. And I just thought to myself, I was like, I don't know. I mean, it depends, because he was throwing them offensively, but, he probably should have only thrown them when Jon Jones went in for a takedown, maybe to try to counter. Sort of like Matt Hughes got knocked out by Thiago, is it Alves? Yeah, Pitbull. When he went in for a shot one time, he got kneed in the face and knocked out. So defensively, I think it's good, but against a wrestler like that, those lazy knees that are kind of slow like that, going in, he just got taken down so many times because he went off balance. It just didn't really work. He probably should have stuck to power punching more and just tried to knock him out. He did land a lot of good shots, though. And Jon Jones, credit to him, he took them pretty damn well. He didn't flinch or, anything, wince or anything. Speaking of which, that was a pretty nasty front leg side kick that Jones hit him with after. And then, like a second later, like there's a pause, and then Vitor's body just drops. Like he just, he's okay for a second, then boom, just drops right down. So there was a lot of exciting stuff in the fight. It was a really exciting fight. Both guys brought it. And Vitor Belfort, man, he was a legend already, but now I've gained even more respect for him because nobody else has been able to do that to Jon Jones. Nobody. I mean, Mauricio Shogun couldn't do anything. Lyoto Machida landed a couple, but it wasn't, he wasn't that close where Vitor was with that armbar. Let's see who else has, been in close with Jones. Nobody else who's fought him has really been able to get him in danger like that. This was the first time we got to see him in trouble like that. And that also kind of gives us, now I don't want to do MMA math here, if you guys know what that is, but Vitor against Anderson Silva, if you watch that fight, you remember what happened in that fight. Anderson pretty much finished Vitor almost right away. Like, Vitor was doing okay. He was doing pretty good. And then, he just gets hit with a kick, and it was all over, just like that. first round, you know, it didn't even last that long. It was like, seemed like nothing for Anderson. And to see Vitor go to 205, fight Jon Jones, and almost beat him, and then Jon Jones in the 4th round basically be able to beat him, because it seemed to me Vitor was just kind of, you know, beat down and just kind of cardio-wise worn out, you know, from getting hit on and all that, and you know, and just going with Jones. Because that's another thing about Jones, is he's really skinny for his size. You know, he's bones, obviously. He's a heavyweight frame, but he's really lean. So his cardio is going to be really good compared to a lot of the other guys at 205. They're going to put on a lot of muscle. And we've seen that before, where he just doesn't slow down. Like against Quinton Rampage Jackson was the same kind of thing. Quinton was slowing down, and Jon Jones wasn't really. He was able to get him in a submission. So same kind of thing with that. He also cranked on Vitor's arm pretty far too, man. That was, I thought he was going to break it too. That was kind of scary. So, but you know, either way, a great fight, a lot of fun, newfound respect for Vitor Belfort. And I still want to see Anderson Silva against Jon Jones. I don't think they'll ever do it, but seeing Vitor and how Anderson was able to destroy him, and then seeing Vitor come in and face Jon Jones, and how Jon Jones had so much trouble with him, you know, maybe broke his arm, or almost broke his arm, and you know, almost lost that fight really, because it would have been, you know, a little bit more, and if he would have cranked it far enough, and that would have been it. So also his stand-up, you know, Anderson finished Vitor with stand-up in less than a couple of minutes. It was like like a minute or something. And you know, Jon Jones all the way to the 4th round never finished him with stand-up, knocked him down with a kick, yeah. But you know, I mean, it just kind of shows that that Anderson, you know, would really be a great matchup for Jon Jones, you know. And who would win that? I don't even know, because like I said, Anderson made mincemeat out of Vitor in the 1st round, and you know, Vitor almost beat Jon Jones, took him to the 4th round to beat him. Yes, it's MMA math, but at the same time, you know, be a damn good fight. Plus, you got to think, you know, Jones' striking against Anderson would be garbage. You know, he'd have to take him down, and if he doesn't, you know, and then he's got the jiu-jitsu to worry about. So anyway, what I'm saying is that would be an amazing fight. And Vitor Belfort is one of the best in the world, man. You know, no question about that. So great stuff. I absolutely loved it. And the other fights, too, on the card were good. It was a really good card. Bisping against Brian Stann was good, too. I figured that Bisping would win a decision. You know, he's kind of turned into a decision winner, too. Sort of like old school GSP style at this point. I mean, he wins so many damn decisions. But whatever, you know, he's in 185, so you know, it's not like he's a heavyweight or something winning every decision. You know, it's the lighter weight you are, the harder it is to knock somebody out. Pretty simple. So, but anyway, so that was that. The other fights as well were good. I like the event overall. Who would you guys like to see Jon Jones face next? I think he should still fight Dan Henderson. I think Dan Henderson still deserves a shot at him in the new year. And obviously that elbow's got to heal, whatever's wrong with it. If it's in a sling, it's probably broken. But, I mean, I guess we'll see. But there's Dan Henderson. Lyoto Machida's up there. Gustafsson's going to fight Shogun, and we'll see what happens with that. And then, of course, Anderson will probably fight Bisping or Weidman or somebody like that. But I would really like to see the UFC seriously consider putting together one of those super fights. Either have GSP face Anderson Silva or Anderson Silva fight Jon Jones. And whoever wins, you know, it'd still be beneficial for the UFC. Like if Anderson beats Jon Jones, let's say at 205, you could have him do a rematch. You know, they could get a couple fights out of it, and it would just be, I think it'd be worth it. Because what if one fighter won the first one, then the other fighter won the second one, and then they did like a third one? I mean, those would be huge paydays for the UFC for sure. So, I don't know. For some reason, they don't seem to want to do it. They've been talking about GSP against Anderson for the longest time. They never got it done, so I'm inclined to believe at this point they probably never will. But it's fun, food for thought. Either way, great night of fights. Vitor is awesome. And, man, so close. I was so excited. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. Trev, same peace.